All right, welcome to my presentation on Nikkō Tōshō-gū Shrine. It will say in a second. So, what is it? It is a memorial complex in the city of Nikko in the Tochigi Prefecture, located in Japan. It was built in 1617, but many of the buildings after were built in 1636 due to Tokugawa Ieyasu's grandson. The shrine and complex, like I said, were dedicated to Tokugawa Ieyasu after his death in 1616. He was almost recognized as a deity at this time, and this is why this shrine was built. The complex was originally just a mausoleum in 1617, but was added on to when Ieyasu's grandson was shogun. In Japanese, I don't really know how to pronounce that, but are the kanji characters that represent Nikkō Tōshō-gū. So, what does it contain? The entire complex consists of around like 55 buildings. There's a couple others that get clumped in, but 55 buildings in the main complex that remembers Tokugawa Ieyasu. Among these buildings, 8 of which are national treasures. One of the most popular is the Yome Iman Gate, which is also called the Sunlight Gate. It's made out of wood mostly, and it has over 500 designs in it that range from spiritual animals to warriors. And you can see down here, right down here, there are, there are 2 statues guarding the mausoleum. And then here are the dimensions of it. It's 36 feet high, 23 feet wide, and 14 feet thick. 194 of these carvings are Reiju, holy spiritual animals. And also there is a 5-story pagoda. I want to see if I can move this. Yep, there we go. There's a 5-story pagoda, and I will get more into depth with that as it goes on. So here's some pictures of the complex. This is an old drawing. Over here, this is the pagoda that was talked about. And then you walk your way up through here, and you walk all the way up these stairs. Right here is this famous horse stall, which I'll talk about in a second. And you go all the way up, and all the way back is the remains of Tokugawa Ieyasu in a lantern almost. And here's just another map of it. You could see the mausoleum of Ieyasu. Cut with a bell. There's a bell tower. There's a drum tower. All of these different buildings just in this one complex that make up this giant shrine. So why was it important? The Tōshō-gū Shrine is extremely important to the history of Japan. It holds the remains, as I said, of Tokugawa Ieyasu and was considered to be one of the holiest sites in Japan for both Shinto as well as Buddhist sects. That happened until around the Meiji Restoration period, where they separated Shinto and Buddhist sects. The complex itself houses 5 national treasures as well as 3 important cultural properties, and those are clumped into the 8 national treasures I mentioned before. Of these properties, there are a couple horses, one of which is named Komaru, and it was given to the shrine by New Zealand as like a token of friendship almost. It's a white horse that represented the purity of their friendship and everything like that between the 2 countries. So it motivated cooperation between the 2. Behind the Yome Iman is the main prayer hall, and it's located. It holds many of Ieyasu's personal effects. For example, there are hundreds of sake barrels. There's letters that he wrote, and the part of national treasures are the 2 swords that belong to Ieyasu. And there are many other different inspirations for this prayer hall. They had Toyotomi Hideyoshi as one of them. He was also a figure to be revealed, as well as Minamoto. I'm sorry. This is also the horse stable that I talked about. I have a couple more pictures of that. So just some interesting facts. while we're going over it. The original saying that see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil, that actually originated from this monkey carving here. You see the monkeys covering his ears, hear no evil, and then you got speak no evil and see no evil. These monkeys, I don't know when exactly the saying was made, but I do know it was inspired by this. Um, Another thing is every year there is a parade that consists of over 1,000 warriors. This is to reenact Tokugawa Ieyasu's remains to Nikkō. So, and you'll see right here in this gold plated sarcophagus in front of the pagoda. It holds a replica of Ieyasu's remains. And it flocks many tourists at this time. As I said, the 5-story pagoda is in the complex, and it has 5 layers for a reason. Each layer represents an element in ascending order from earth, water, fire, wind, and the void, which are the 5 elements of Buddhist and Shinto religions. Another cool thing about the pagoda is that it burned down in 1815 and was rebuilt in 1818, and it still stands from 1818 to today. And one of the cool reasons why it stands is that the center of the pagoda, they have this suspended beam, and it's only 10 centimeters off the ground, where most would be a solid amount higher than the actual ground. But this was done on purpose to take into account the movement and the shifting of the wood as it settled over the years. So that's pretty ingenious on their part. The front gate is guarded by 2 statues of Neo, and I don't have pictures of that, but you will see that on the Google Earth. Speaking of, let's look around to the Google Earth slides. And all right, so right here we have the stable, which I talked about, which has these monkeys on them with the see no evil, and this also houses the horse that was gifted to Japan from New Zealand. And then behind, right here, if I can get around, this is an interesting fact that I left out. These 2 elephants here were carved by a man who had no idea what elephants looked like. So he had no idea what elephants looked like, and they look pretty accurate to what we see elephants as today. Here is the Yome Iman, and then we have these two guardians here, these 2 statues that many people like to speculate that it's Tokugawa himself, or Ieyasu himself, and he's guarding himself because he was recognized as a deity at this time. This is why this entire shrine was built to him. And these are the intricate designs that you could see. You have dragons. You have many on the other side as well. You have many different animals, as well as up here, which is a cool fact, which is a cool little thing. Is the Tokugawa kaman, and that is located sporadically throughout the entire complex. You'll see that symbol. Here is the pagoda, and over to the right here, we see the main entrance. This is actually the booth where you pay and everything like that to get in. But the pagoda is absolutely free to watch or free to look at. You can't go in it, but you can look around it and go up to it. And this is the most important part of the entire complex. This is the mausoleum and this sarcophagus of the remains of Tokugawa Ieyasu. They are in there, as well as his swords are in there as well. And this you have to hike up many stairs to go through the woods and find it. But that is it. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.